everybody. I would like to thank everybody who's listening to this session for, thank you for signing up for this session. I hope you take a lot of things from the session. So let's deep dive and see how you can actually transition to our cybersecurity pre-sales consultant. So about me, I have been working with cyber as a technical pre-sales consultant for a couple of years now. And that's all. Before that, I was like an analyst. And then I transitioned to a consultant, a pre-sales consultant. So I think I'll be able to share my experience with you and tell you how you can transition to as a pre-sales consultant. So the outline of the entire session would be like, I have a small questionnaire kind of thing, like the questions probably you need answers to. And then there's a story, which I'll tell you. And then I'll also explain that if you actually make up your mind to go for the transition into pre-sales as a, go about as a pre-sales consultant, what do you expect? Like what is expected out of you? And what after pre-sales? Like you're done being a pre-sales for 2-3 years, and then where you can go. So the questionnaire, the things that I would like to answer in today's session for you guys is, what is pre-sales all about? Do we really need any sales experience for this job? Are there any mandatory learnings to enter the field? And what are the further career prospects, like once you're done a pre-sales thing, and where can you go from there? Like what all you can do after that? So let me demystify pre-sales for you first. So putting it very simple in my own words, it's any function or task that is performed before the actual contract is actually signed with the client organization. So, and then it's just so simple. Like if you have to do some tasks before the signing of the contract, then why pre-sales? What is so special about it? So in this particular job profile, I like to call myself as a bridge. So you are the bridge, a bridge with technical knowledge and great interpersonal skills, who loves problem solving and is totally comfortable with chatting and talking to people and explaining them how the particular technology or tool you're talking about is going to help them solve their business use cases, etc. So this is it. So you are Bob, basically, if you decide to go for pre-sales consultant role in any organization. So you sit between the engineering technical team and the sales team. So in the sales team, you might have your sales manager, regional sales manager, then your VP of sales and sales director. That's like the complete sales team. And on the other hand, you have the engineering team. You are Bob. You're going to sit in between as the bridge between the two teams. So who is Bob? So Bob is somebody, for example, since we're talking about cyber domain, he was working as a threat intel analyst for a couple of years. So now he has gained the knowledge, the technical aspect of that particular domain by working as an analyst for 2-3 years. Now he has the experience of the domain and understand the pain points of the analyst, like what all analysis is about, what all analyst feels, what is the daily course, what all can be automated, what cannot be automated, what are the pain points, etc. He understands the process completely. And now Bob makes up his mind that, okay, let me try switching my job as a pre-sales consultant. Probably he needed a change, was more of a people person, or was not a back-end person, and he thought, okay, let me go on the client side for this time. Join an organization who automates the intelligence part with a tool or product. Now Bob is the pre-sales engineer for this company X. Now why is Bob so special? Like it's a pre-sales, say the title somehow hints it is like kind of a sales job. Then probably the company should have hired somebody who has done, masters in business administration from a very renowned college, or probably they should have hired somebody who has a degree in sales. Why would they hire Bob, who has like little experience as a threat intel analyst? Bob is special because Bob has the necessary technical knowledge, experience, and the zeal to talk to the people. So why is like pre-sales very important? Why Bob is special? Bob is special because Bob is gonna pitch to the audience, which is technical. Bob is not selling or pitching something normal. He's selling and pitching a technical product, and the audience is technical. For example, since Bob is into threat intel analyst kind of guy, he's selling a product which kind of automates the ingestion of the intelligence into the product. The analyst doesn't have to do it manually. So the audience he's catering to is like other analysts who in the procurement team, other CISOs will be sitting on the other side of the table. So they're not going to ask Bob, okay, Bob, in how much rupees or dollars you're going to sell me. That's what the sales guy would do. Okay, they're going to ask Bob, okay, Bob, tell me how much analyst fatigue would reduce. Name any 10 attacks your tool can prevent. Will this help me solve the Intel ingestion problem automatically? And what would be the ROI? How much time I'm going to save? All these questions are pretty technical, and you need a hands-on experience in that particular domain to answer them confidently. So this is the questions would be technical. The use case will be technical. So example, Bob, if Bob would have been selling a product which does automated VAPT. So the CISO will ask him, okay, tell me 10 active attacks your product can, scan, and tell me how it's going to work, how it's not going to work. Tell me 10 passive attacks which are possible to prevent with your tool. What if I'm getting a spear phishing email? Will your tool automatically scan my email, detect it, and what next? Are there any playbooks involved? Will the playbooks automatically trigger, etc., etc.? So all these questions require some technical knowledge. You cannot just randomly go and say, okay, I know the sales part, but I'm not technically equipped. Then you are not fit for the pre-sales role. So how is Bob the bridge? As I explained previously, he is the bridge between the sales team and the engineering team. The engineering team, though highly technical, they have built the product or the solution. They don't want to go to the client side, right? They want to focus their entire thing. They love their job as a developer. They love their job as QA testers. They love their job. They want to stay back end. They don't want to go. And imagine if they're going to the client every side, who will do the development, right? The sales team can bring in clients. They have a sales pipeline. They work pretty hard in getting sales pipeline for you guys, for the pre-sales people. But the sales team cannot deep dive into technical demos. Anytime a client would have a doubt, like a technical doubt, they cannot just go and ring up the VP of sales. Okay, you bought me this deal. Now tell me, how this tool of yours is gonna prevent man in the middle attack. Explain. The sales guy would be like, okay, I know what it will cost you, but I'm gonna redirect you to my pre-sales engineer or pre-sales consultant or technical consultant for this answer. So this is where you fit. Imagine VP of sales or sales director directing the question to the development team or the engineering team. They'll explain in the terms of, I've written this code, the code checks for this if and else condition. So you need a person in between. That is why Bob is the bridge. That is why Bob is special, who could explain the technical aspect of the product in normal language so that the other person on the other side of the table can understand. The other person should feel that this product was built to, solve their use case, solve their business problem. And unless Bob isn't able to do that, Bob is not special anymore. So to be special, he needs to know how to pitch it. He needs to understand the technical domain and act as a bridge between both the teams, engineering and sales. So I have put down these 5 rules of pre-sales engineering just to clarify the questionnaire I put in before. You are a member of the sales team. You are not a salesperson though. You must be business relevant. Like you should know the business to pitch something. If I am, say, in my situation, I deal into threat intelligence platforms and security and automation and orchestration platforms because I have knowledge of those things. But suddenly somebody comes and say, okay, this is a solution which automates VAPT and it scans the code for secure coding practices and all. I won't be able to sell it properly because I am not confident, because I don't know the business, how it works. I need a hands-on on those to feel confident enough to talk about it. You must be technical knowledgeable, and you should know your audience. You should know your audience. Who are you speaking with? How technically sound the other person is. If the person is very technically sound, you better be prepared for very good drill down in terms of technical aspects. They are going to ask you use cases that you might sell, yourself, you might not have thought about while you have been selling this product for 2-3 years. So there are different questions that comes your way, and that is what makes this job totally amazing. Totally, it's wonderful. We'll go through it. So in a nutshell, whatever I explained, then what is pre-sales all about then? Pre-sales professional thus needs to understand what the end customer is looking for. access the sales requirement with the salesperson, work with the technical team to deliver the requirement. So as I explained, you're the bridge. The sales guy will tell you, the salesperson will tell you, okay, I have this client, okay, this client has a XYZ problems. Now you have to think, you have to communicate with the technical team. Okay, you have these 10 features. Can these 10 features cumulated together, working together, solve the business use case problem that this client is looking for, like the solution? These solutions need to fit the business objective, technical objective, and the financial objective of the client. Now the client is saying, okay, Akriti, Bob, whoever you are, I need solution to this problem. And I have XYZ rupees to give to you for the product. But then when you go back to your technical team, the technical team says, ma'am, we can't do this. We need to develop a new feature, which will cost us a lot, right? So how do you tackle such situations? Do you want to, build a specific feature just for one client? How do you, put that client into the, how do you solve the problem without being a burden on your technical team? How do you smoothly tell them, okay, let's start with this, then we go to this, then we go to this, and probably in the next quarter, we'll have the feature ready for you kind of thing. How do you manage these situations? You can only manage them if you know your client, how important the client is, and you have a good experience. Okay, they're asking for this use case, this can be solved by this. They're asking for something else, this can be solved with accumulation of 2-3 features on my product. You should be very thorough with what you're selling and your domain. Which means tailor the proposal to meet what the customer needs. Explain the solution to the customer. Helps close the deal. Sale often stays to ensure that the delivery team of the product specialists that follow provide the intended solution. So now you have convinced the person that this is the one. This is your job. You have to convince the person with your knowledge, with your speaking skills, interpersonal skill, with your confidence, with everything that you have in you, to tell them, okay, you are going to buy this product. It's going to solve these XYZ conditions, business use case, your problems, etc., etc. And your job is kind of done there. It goes to the product manager and your sales specialist team, your customer care team to follow the thing. So this is like the nutshell of what you can expect if you are considering a transition into, as a technical consultant or a cybersecurity pre-sales consultant. This is all about it. So now you must be wondering, okay, if this sounds so amazing, do I need a degree? Is there a degree like bachelor's of pre-sales? No, there isn't a degree like that. And I haven't come across any certifications also. But what would you need then? If there is no degree, there is no certifications, what can you do? You can certify yourself in your domain. You have to be an expert in your domain. If you keep yourself up to date, it brings you more confidence, and you should continue, getting your certifications in your domain. Like if you are, say, into, say, threat intelligence, okay, you can go for CISA and do it, because you know more than you have. Once you read something more about it, then you can think, okay, these are more possible use cases the client might ask. These are more possible use cases that I might want to pitch into my client to to solve their problems. And these are problems that even the client might not have thought the organization might face in the coming year or in the coming quarter, or etc., etc. So you should be good, like, in your domain. Other than that, since you're talking about pre-sales, there are a few technical jargons that you need to kind of understand, such as RFP, RFI, SOW, POC, etc., etc. These are few pre-sales related terms which are used quite often. And in your job as a pre-sales consultant, this is going to be like water. Like every day you're going to have it. So request for proposal, request for information, a statement of work. These are all sales related, mixed with the technical part. So you're doing the sales work kind of thing. You're making the proposals, you're putting in the information, you're making the statement of work, but all of it that is in the proposal contains is the technical stuff. So only you can write it, because what you're speaking in the front of the client, you put it on paper and make a proposal, and it should sound convincing. Then only you can get a demo, or you can get a proof of concept week where you get a face-to-face with client and tell them, like, give them a demo and stuff. So these proposals are really important. If you cannot express yourself in the proposal, if you cannot express the product in the proposal, if you are hesitant about writing it out completely and thinking of innovative ways, like which diagram should come where kind of thing, then it's going to be hard for you. So if you think you can put the entire thing, if you're creative enough to put the entire use case into a diagram, if your brain works like that, then you are super fit for this job. Believe me. So as I said, great presentation skills are required. Face-to-face meetings, you should be very, very comfortable with meeting new people, talking to new people, and then subtly telling them the thing, like the problem that they're going to face if they don't buy the product, or how the product is going to help them, and the agenda, how are you going to go ahead with them, how, when you can get the first call with them, when you can get the first demo with them, when you can get the first POC with them. POC is proof of concept. You promise them something, you need to show it, and then only the customer will be swayed enough to buy your product. And the market knowledge, which is obviously gathered over time. The day I started my pre-sales career, that time I didn't know how many other vendors are there doing the same thing. You grow, you evolve. It's like you cannot just go into the market. Okay, from today onwards, I am a pre-sales consultant, and I know everything. I know every diagram. I know every proposal. I know every RFP. I know you cannot do that. You evolve in this career. You get more confident after your first deal. You get more confident after you acquire your first PO. You get more confident when a client says, "Great work, great presentation skills. I could. This solution is amazing. I never thought it's gonna solve my business use case in such an efficient way." All these small things, you grow, you evolve, kind of thing. So I'm going to touch upon like 2-3 things to give you a gist about how your day would be if you are transitioning as a pre-sales consultant. And these are the two to three basic things which you're going to see every day. Like almost every day you're going to have these solution proposals and presentations. You will be required to make presentations on every aspect of your company and its products, solutions, and services at some times. Presentations and demonstrations, you are at center stage in front of a demanding audience that wants to be educated, entertained, and interacted with. Sales is all about relations, and we all know it's all about relations and being able to interact with one or many people in demanding situation. Now, the whole thing is you have to keep in mind with what, see, if I go and I just start blabbering, okay, I just start blabbering. I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. Doesn't work like that. You have to keep in mind, okay, this is one customer. Read about the customer. Think, okay, they might be having issues with it. If you have a relation there, like if you know somebody, a friend of you who's working in the same domain, go ask, how is the life cycle of this thing you're doing? What do you do in your day-to-day life? Or you can gather some pain points, okay? And then you think in the customer's shoes. Maybe your product has like 1,000 features, okay? But the customer is only looking for that one feature. And you have to talk only about that one feature. You don't have to throw 999 features on the face. You have to think. And this is the most exciting part. Talking, thinking, and then putting your words in the same way. The way they want to hear. The way they believe that, this product was made for them. And it's magic. And the day you start falling in love with this magic, like the way you speak and the magic thing you do to make people believe, yeah, this is it, you'll do it again and again, and you love the profession. So remember, the business requirements are most likely driving the meeting. Your presentation should address the business requirements and how your product solution can technically address the business requirements. Now, and why do I focus on that one feature? Because every client is not going to give you 2 hours, 3 hours for a demo. Some clients might give you 2 hours if they're really interested in a product. Some might just give you 30 minutes or 15 minutes for that matter. Now, that 15 minutes is like make it or break it. If they see like in those 15 minutes that this product might help them, then only expect that they are going to go for a demo or a POC in future. If you're not able to break the ice in those 15 minutes, then you're not going to hear back from them ever again. Demonstrations and POC. So when your proposal does the magic, when your talk does the magic, then you might get a demo or a POC. Now, there's this example I've put in this slide. Think of a politician at a press conference. Most of the time, it's a professional, cordial event. But usually, there is that one moment when someone presents a question, comment, or objection that can throw you off. You have to be able to handle professionally, show your credibility, and interact in a constructive manner. So remember, I told you, know your audience. And most of the times we do. Like, we know who's going to there be in the call. There's going to be a CISO, which means he's very knowledgeable, very, very thorough with the entire cybersecurity domain. Like, talk about anything, he or she might have an idea what to do in that. You cannot just blabber something that is not true. You cannot just say something which is not so technically sound. The person will catch you. So we try to plan everything, like everybody, even a school kid who has to speak in a play, rehearses his or her lines 100 times. But then there is some time, some moment that in a POC, somebody might ask you a question that you never thought of, and it happens a lot of times. You have created 100 use case series for your product. You're thorough with them. Spear phishing, you talk about it. You talk about with me, say, malware analysis, my tool can solve that. Talk about any XYZ thing, my tool can solve that. Now imagine somebody asks you a different question, which you never thought that your tool can solve. You will have like 10, 15 seconds. That too when you say, very nice question, sir. And then at the same time, you're processing which feature can solve this, which feature I should put in, which feature would, make it solve, make his problem easier kind of thing, or partially solve that problem if not fully. So it's like magic kind of thing. So if you think you can think faster, you know your solution inside out, and you can then pitch for the solution as if the solution is your baby, then I think you're gonna be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pre-sales engineer. So what after pre-sales? So you can be a pre-sales consultant, and you can go at a higher position, senior pre-sales kind of thing, pre-sales principal, pre-sales manager. Then either you can go to sales line like VP of sales, etc., etc., or you can come back to the technical part and be a subject matter expert. I know people who have spent like 5-6 years as a pre-sales, and they have been still doing their hands-on during these demos and POC. And later they're hired by banks or government organization as subject matters expert, because they are so expert in the domain, because 6 years they have been selling it. They have been working on so many use cases. They have been pitching it in so many different ways. They know inside out of many tools that they have put their hands on upon, like from getting the experience. So you can go ahead as a subject matter expert. Then if you want to continue into the that proposal writing, bid management kind of thing, then you can be a solution manager, or you can be a bid manager when you participate in RFPs and all. Proposal author. So now as a pre-sales, the person actually has to respond to the proposals. If you grow up, you can think you can write proposal for a company, like company coming to you and saying, okay, we want to procure this thing, can you write a proposal? So that other company, like other pre-sales engineer, can answer those proposals. You can be a proposal author. Then estimation specialist, you can be a practice head in any of the organization. And CISO also, like I know a couple of CISOs who were pre-sales engineer for 10, 15 years. Like they did pre-sales in every domain of cyber. Okay, I told you, get the knowledge, you can do it. Get the knowledge, you can do it. Get the knowledge, you can do it. They were enough good, like good enough knowledge they got in these 10, 15 years that they actually eventually applied for CISO jobs and they got it. So you can go anywhere after pre-sales. It's like, as long as you're in touch with your roots, as long as you keep on reading and keep on solving problems for the client, you keep the machine going, you keep the machine oiling. Do more certifications in your domain, you keep intact, like keep up to the date in your domain at least. Then you can be a pre-sales consultant easily. Like if you can talk, you're up to date in your domain, that's the transition phase. You can achieve it easily. So that's it from my side. Thank you for being such a nice audience, and I hope and I pray that this helps you either in making up your mind, okay, let's try pre-sales, or you think, okay, maybe I should work hard enough, get more certification so that I go for a pre-sales job, and it might impact you in a good way. That's what I hope for. Thank you, everybody.